Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode, powered by Perfect Sports Nutrition, is all about my favorite ways to knock you out with my knees. All right, so today we're gonna talk about knees. And if you're part of the Bazooka training team online, you would notice that this week was all about different ways to use your knees. So on the website, I talked about punches to knees, kick to knees, and the basic structure in a jab rear knee style technique, okay? So bazookatraining.com is where you're gonna get the techniques, the ways to throw it, the different setups to get it, all right? So this is just a teaser to get more of the information. bazookatraining.com for only $9.99 a month. Okay, so let's get into my favorite ways to knock someone out with my knees. And the first one has to be the most spectacular. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's exciting, and that's the scissor knee. So I'm gonna show with Matt, and again, you have to understand there's so many different ways to set up all of these knees, all right? So, but I'm talking about my favorite way, and those who know my style, it's all about the low kick. So if I come in and I chop that leg, I'm gonna constantly attack it. Then what happens, eventually, if your opponent is smart, which a lot of times they don't understand my timing, so they can't stop it, but some advanced people, they start blocking it. Now that lets me set up the knees. So we talk about feinting a lot, right? Now, when I throw the kick, he blocks. I get the initiation, shoom, and I fly, and I get to go right up to his head. So that's my setup, and that's the most spectacular way to me to knock someone out, that scissor knee, all right? So playing around, you can so many different ways. Boom, they get the block up, bang, knee to the head. All right, one of my favorite ways in the who knocked someone out, that's basically Alex Pereira versus Jason Wilness. Watch that fight with Glory Kickboxing because you can see the perfect application of this style of knee, right? Again, low kick, boom, or it could even be a body kick, anything off of this side to get them to block. This brings a knee up feint to think it's coming, and then I scissor my way up and get the finish to the head. Now, it doesn't have to be with the knee, with the low kick. I can set you up here with my hands, and then all of a sudden, I can come up through the middle as well. One of my favorite ways to actually get that scissor knee to the head, if Matt's here, and we're in the clinch, all of a sudden from here, boom, I can still bring the scissor knee right up the middle, hit that chin, and get some good damage. So that's number one. Now, number two, right? Number two, you can go to the head or to the body, and for this video, I'm gonna talk about it to the body because I think it's a knee that's not used a lot. Because one, it's very committed and you have to push forward. So that's the lunging knee to the body. So a lot of times, again, you can set them up with low kicks, set them up with punches, but the lunging knee or the jumping knee, right, is from your stance, you get a nice little squat, and I can push off and I attack with my rear knee. Now, you have to be very athletic to get it to the head, but the lunging knee and falling forward to the body, you get that solar plexus really nicely. So the nice thing is here, I can come in here and just drive, boom, right? The amount of force, the amount of pressure I can bring in that knee coming forward is a lot. And it closes that distance. So even if I'm playing here with Matt, I'm touching, and when I'm ready, boom, I could really drive that knee nice and hard and be able to get that damage that I'm looking for to the body, okay? So lunging knee to the body. Ideally, you can play it up, but it's the nicest when, one, my opponent is exiting. So if I'm here and Matt starts to exit on me, I could still, boom, close my distance very quickly and get the knee. Or I can use it as a draw attack. I draw him in, boom, and then I fly with my knee. The draw attack to the lunge knee, very good setup because you get that colliding action. As they're coming in, the knee hits the solar plexus, you get the finish, you get the knockout. All right, now let's get into number three. Now, number three for me, it's using the left hook to set it up. And good news is we just heard that Alistair Overeem has signed with Glory Kickboxing, and I'm super excited to call his fights. I actually got to do some commentary with him, but one of his best weapons was his knees to the face. And a lot of times he would set it up with the hook. And you have to remember, old school K1 fights, you weren't allowed to clinch. You weren't allowed to put your hands together. So you had to kind of create different types of offense, to be able to kind of clinch and knee at the same time. And this is where the hook to the knee came. So when you do it in a basic way, it's basically two movements. It's a hook, right, to get the hands up, and then I knee, which is good, but it's very basic, right? These are, I want to talk about different knees that are a little bit more advanced, different ways of thinking about it. So the one I'm going to do here now, and the other one who was very good at this technique, I would say, was Andy Risti, okay? Watch it. I think he fought Albert Kraus. And the way he did it at the same time, it was the hook and knee, boom, at the same time. So he can come in, boom, and attack. So even if I set it up with just the hook to the head, boom, and then the second time, boom, right? Even Matt trying to block, I can change it on an angle. I can come straight up the middle, or I could even throw it round, boom, right? But they're almost hitting at the same time, boom. So I might throw it once, boom, and then all of a sudden, boom. Now this hand, if they get shelled up, I could even use it as a pull, boom, right? I'm pulling the head into my knee. So using that hook and knee at the same time. Now even if Matt just holds his hand up for me and gives me a target, right? So it's just showing this, boom, watch your head. He's gonna it's just a target here, boom, right? So it's a slap and knee at the same time, right? It can go 1, 2, and then the timing I like is this one, boom. Right, using the hook and knee at the same time to smack the head. All right, that's a nice third one that I like. Now, let's continue with the knees. Now, the fourth one I'm going to talk about is from the clinch. Now, from the clinch, the key is getting the head down. So one of my favorite ways to set up the clinch is a lot of times people like to stay here, knee from this position, walk forward. But a lot of times in the clinch, you want to create space. So the knee that I like from here is when I get my full tie clinch grip is to be able to either one, snap back and open, right? I off balance and I set a big long knee. From here, boom, I can come here to the head or to the body. So this one here is basically, I'm gonna call the head snap to the knee to the face, all right? So if I get good inside position, even if I have one hand, I'll fight my way in. I either back step straight and I snap the head, look at my nice long stance, boom, right up the middle, or go hard to the body 2 times, then go to the head. All right, so using the head to snap down, bring the knee up to the face, and that's when you can get damage. Now, one quick point I'm gonna talk about, and I really recommend you going to bazookatraining.com to understand how to throw this properly, but when you go to the body or the head, you have to adjust how you get up on the lead calf. What I mean by that is, when I want a knee to the body, right? Say I'm gonna snap him nice and long. When I want a knee to the body, I wanna get up on this calf, okay? So this lets me drive forward, right? Being on the calf lets my knee go forward. Now, if I wanna change the knee to the face, right? If I come down and I snap, I'm gonna be flat on this heel. Now the direction of my knee goes to the face, right? So I'll show you without Matt. If I want knee to the body, front's up, you can see knee goes forward. When my heel is down, boom, the angle of the knee comes up, all right? So that's one little quick tip for distinguishing if you want to go to the body or to the head. Now, the fifth and final finish that I like to use with knees is going to be the left knee to the liver. Now, so many different ways to set it up, but ideally, the low kick, right? Now, any attack off this side, boom, eventually he blocks. I'm gonna bring that feint again, boom. Now, instead of the scissor knee like we talked about, I got a nice switch stance, liver knee, boom, double knee to the liver, okay? So using that step, the feint to enter safely in order to get to it. Now, they don't have to be low kicks, but it's safe. It can be a body kick or a low kick, but you need to get them to block and pressure. So I go here, boom, right? All of a sudden here, knee to the liver, knee to the liver. I can create my exit, okay? So using the feint, the step, to be able to get those double knees. Now, again, just like all of our knees, these are knockout knees, all right? So whether any of these 5, right, you have to know they are knockout knees. And what that means is if I want to knock someone out, say I throw this last low kick one and I step off here, if I'm going to knee you with a small knee like this, you're going to land the knee, score a point, but these are knockout knees. I need you to finish. So when you do put yourself in the position to knee, I need a nice lengthened stance. Don't come in here trying to knock someone out from this short stance. If you want to knock someone out, I need this. Boom, now I have such long drive in my calf, and I can really drive and get good generation of power from the ground all the way up. All right, so there you go. 5 different ways that I like to knock people out with my knees, all right? Different setups, different types of techniques, different forwards, switch knees, scissor knees, a lot to learn. But like I said, if you want to get into the details and the technical side and all the subtleties of good kneeing, bazookatraining.com. Only $9.99 a month, and you get access to home workouts, tutorials, bag workouts, and now, as we just recently added, sparring drills, right? Where you're gonna get a lot of these techniques eventually. So bazookatraining.com, Perfect Sports Nutrition, the sponsor of today's video. You can go to Perfect Sports, linked in the description below. Use code Bazooka20 and get 20% off your supplements. Bazookashop.com for any of the Bazooka gear, and Hayabusa Fight if you like any of the gear that we're rocking. All right, we'll see you next time here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.